Phyllis and I could have passed for a normal couple to anyone who glanced from the outside. I'm Travis McKinney, accounting forensics specialist, professional money bloodhound, the kind of guy who can find the missing penny in a billion-dollar scam. She was the dreamer between us, the one with ambition, crafting, politics, people. She was young, vibrant, and running for a city council seat, much to the horror of the old guard who were used to their bribes and backroom deals. Smash that like button, hit subscribe, and keep watching, because the best part's coming up next. On paper, we were balanced. I liked my golf, my writing. She liked making things with her hands, mingling with community leaders. But beneath the veneer of normalcy, cracks spidered across the foundation. Small things at first. I hated dogs, ever since a stray mauled me as a kid, but Phyllis adored them. She hated spiders and snakes, but I could scoop them up without a second thought. And then there was her absolute terror of mice or cockroaches. I was supposed to handle it whenever one appeared, without jokes, without hesitation. Little things that could be laughed off. But marriages aren't undone by little things alone. We both traveled often for work. She did PR for County General Hospital, parading herself as the shining, trustworthy face of community outreach. I traced money trails across corporations and governments, digging up greed and betrayal. Because of our schedules, we had no pets, no kids, no real roots. Just two busy lives intersecting for dinners, trips, and sometimes for war. Our trips, when we could take them, were to sunny beaches and all-inclusive resorts. You know the kind. Unlimited booze, watered-down cocktails, service so slow it felt deliberate. I drowned myself in it anyway, staggering drunk more nights than not. For me, it was escape. For Phyllis, it was imprisonment. She wanted me present, engaged, alive. Instead, she got me passed out face down in resort sheets. She told me once, "You don't get it, Travis. You drink to forget your job. But I'm here too. What am I supposed to forget?" I laughed it off, whatever. Work was hell, and she knew it. Then came Aruba. 4 days, 3 nights. A chance to make it right. Or so I thought. The first night, I got plastered. The second night, worse. By Saturday morning, my head felt split open and Phyllis's patience had vanished. She didn't bother with goodbye. She grabbed her tote, stormed off, and left me alone in our room, bitter and hungover. But fate, or maybe something darker, pushed me to follow. I caught a glimpse of her in the elevator, squeezed between sunburnt tourists. But it wasn't her I noticed. It was him. Vince. A smooth-talking stranger I'd caught her flirting with on night 1. He kissed her cheek, slipped her an envelope. My stomach clenched. I rushed down the stairs, skipping elevators. By the time I hit the lobby, she was strolling toward the beach, head bent over the note. I watched her crumple it and toss it in the trash. That trash changed everything. I fished it out, my hands trembling. The words carved themselves into my brain. "Phyllis, you've been an absolute overnight sensation these last 2 nights." The love was mind-blowing. Too bad he's not drinking today, or we could have spiked his drink again. Until Sacramento. Vince. My world collapsed in that instant. The rage came first, white-hot and shaking. Then the coldness. I went to the assistant manager, threw money at him until he pulled up security footage. And there it was. Phyllis, my wife, helping Vince carry my drugged, staggering body into our room. Twice. Vince leaving 6, 8 hours later. The manager's words were final nails in my coffin. If you go to the police, they won't investigate. Nothing bad happens at our resort. I should have walked, filed for divorce, started over. But betrayal eats at you in ways grief never can. By the time we flew back home, I had already decided. She wasn't going to just leave me with nothing. She was going to learn what betrayal feels like. On her birthday, I set the stage. Dinner, roses, romance. She was thrilled, maybe even convinced we were repairing what had broken. She took her pill, the one she always smuggled back from Mexico. I smiled, told her I had something special planned. She laughed as I tied her wrists, giggled when I fastened her ankles. She thought it was play, like what you see? Click like, hit subscribe, and stay tuned. Let's keep going. Then I pulled out the gag. Her eyes widened. Travis, what are you doing? I leaned close, whispering, your safe word tonight is overnight sensation. She froze. The twinkle in her eyes died. She shook her head violently, tears already starting. What followed wasn't love. It wasn't even sex. It was theater. A cruel, meticulously staged performance. I whispered about bugs, about them burrowing under her skin, laying eggs in the dark. I dipped beads in lube laced with itching powder, plunged them in one by one, pretending each thrust was another insect finding its new home. She writhed, gagged, screamed into silence. The pillowcase over her head made sure she saw nothing, only imagined everything. I knew her weaknesses, knew her terror of crawling things, and I exploited every ounce of it. When I finally released her, she was wild, broken, clawing at her own body, convinced she was infested. Her scream spilled into the night as I shoved her outside, naked and hysterical. I filmed it all. Her death threats, her madness, the neighbors staring in horror. And when the cops came, I played the concerned husband. She took something, I said, bandages wrapped tight around my arms. She attacked me. She's talking about bugs, babies. Please help her. Hook, line, sinker. The hospital kept her strapped down. She raved, begged them to cut the bugs out of her. They sedated her. But even under sedation, her eyes searched the corners of the room like something was crawling just beyond reach. The press devoured it. City council candidate arrested for domestic violence, drug smuggling, resisting arrest. Her career incinerated overnight. My restraining order was a cherry on top. I should have felt guilty. But instead, I felt relief and satisfaction. Her parents came to collect her things under sheriff's watch. She glared at me, silent daggers, her body trembling with fury she couldn't unleash. I scratched my backside dramatically. She nearly exploded. The election? Lost. Her job? Demoted to a desk. Her reputation? Shredded. I left the country soon after. Took a job overseas. Safer that way. Safer for me. Safer for everyone. But Vince, dear, stupid Vince, left his phone number on that note. And what I do best is follow the money. $250,000 drained from his accounts. He learned what it meant to pay for an overnight sensation. As for Phyllis, the court gave her 60 days in jail, community service, a felony record. She stared at me during the divorce hearing, her voice brittle but determined. Someday, Travis, you'll tell me how you did it. There were no bugs, I said flatly. Just tickles. Just your guilty conscience. Her eyes burned. There were bugs. I know there were. That was the last time I saw her. People ask me sometimes if I regret it, if I miss her. I don't. Not the way you miss someone who dies. More like the way you miss a limb that's been rotting from infection. Sure, you wish it had never come to amputation, but you're better off without it. I date now, casually. Nothing serious, no commitments. Commitments itch like invisible bugs burrowing under your skin. And sometimes, when I lie awake at night, I wonder. When Phyllis feels an itch on her back, does she still wonder if the babies are hatching? That's the thing about betrayal. It doesn't just burn bridges. It leaves ashes in your lungs, choking you long after the fire's out. Was Travis justified? Or was this just the long game of a man who couldn't let go? Maybe Phyllis deserved consequences. But did she deserve madness? Or maybe Travis became exactly what he hunted. Another predator hiding behind numbers and clean reports. Either way, this wasn't justice. It was vengeance, sharpened to a surgical edge. If that story gave you chills, or made your blood boil, hit like, subscribe for more twisted narratives, and drop your thoughts in the comments. Who was the real villain here? Travis, Phyllis, or both?